Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about anxiety, as you can see from the title of the video, and I just wanted to be real on YouTube and share some experiences and some things that have helped me personally and some advice that I've gotten from other people. Quick note, just skip ahead. I'll put the time link in the bio at the top if you want to skip my personal story and just go to the 5 things that helped me with my anxiety. So about a year and a half ago, I started getting panic attacks. And it was really hard for me because I'd never gotten panic attacks before in my life, and I really was never a person who struggled with anxiety. I mean, in the first way that it manifested, it was, as you guys mostly know, I used to be a flight attendant. And I remember toward the end of me being a flight attendant, I experienced this overwhelming fear while I was flying. And honestly, like still to this day, I get quite anxious when I fly, and that's when my anxiety is the most, actually. And it's so ironic because I love traveling, I love seeing different places in the world, so it's something that I work on, and I truly try and work on, really, like, try and work on it. And anyway, that was a ramble, but what I mean is that my anxiety got really bad a year and a half ago. So bad that I got a panic attack, and it was the first time in my life where I literally thought that I was physically dying. Like, I thought it didn't happen the first time really, really badly. It's like they got incrementally worse. And so the first time I kind of woke up in the middle of the night and it kind of felt like my heart was beating faster and I was struggling to breathe, and I thought maybe, something was wrong with me. And then the next time it happened again, like a week or so later. And then when it all came to a head really was when I felt like so bad and so panicky that I literally thought I was dying. And for anyone who's had a panic attack before, you would know that you feel like you are dying. It feels like your life is about to end. It's no joke, and it's one of the scariest things that have ever happened to me in my life. And it feels so embarrassing to say this, and I don't want to say it because I'm putting this out into the world, but I basically made my husband take me to the hospital, and I got checked out for, like, I thought I was dying, so I thought I was having a heart attack or something like that. And it sounds so dramatic, and honestly, sometimes I can be quite a dramatic person, but in my heart of hearts, I really thought I was having a heart attack. So basically I went to the hospital, I was checked out, and they couldn't find anything wrong with me. And so they asked me questions about my anxiety, or whether I have anxiety, and the pressures at my job and things like that, and if it was bad. And so I just spoke to the woman, and honestly, like, I started bawling my eyes out because I was like, I have this job which isn't really supposed to be that stressful. I mean, working in a kindergarten doesn't sound very stressful to people, I'm sure, but it was very stressful for me because the kindergartens in Hong Kong that you work at, I feel like, I feel like I'm gonna be so judged, so it's so hard for me to make this video. But anyway, I'm not gonna talk about why my job was stressful, because honestly, like, in previous videos that I've made about Qatar Airways, I would describe why I found a job stressful, and people would come for me and be like, you're so lucky, you don't understand how lucky you are. And I'm just like, yeah, I do understand I was lucky, and I do understand that there are so many people that are underprivileged and that want this job, but also you have to understand is that every single person's experience is their own, and if they find something stressful that you might not find stressful, that doesn't mean that it's not stressful for them. Anyway, another little tangent there. let me get onto the reasons why, or the things that helped me. Okay, so number one. When I was first diagnosed with anxiety, I looked online and I watched a ton of YouTube videos about anxiety and what anxiety is about and why people get anxiety and panic attacks and etc, etc, etc. And one of the top things that most people say help with anxiety, and one of the top things that helped me a lot while I was dealing with anxiety and in the moment of actually having panic attacks, is guided meditation. And I know it kind of sounds like, oh, guided meditation, you know, it's like so new world, blah, 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 like, but honestly, it helped me so, so much in the beginning, especially while I was still going through the panic attacks. I would put on a guided meditation. I started with some on YouTube. There are YouTube guided meditations. You can even get some that are 5 minutes long. I remember once I did one that was 30 minutes long, which was like a sleep guided meditation, and it really, really helped me a lot. I'll link some below as well. And then there's also this app called Headspace. Headspace is an amazing tool, and you can buy a subscription, but you can also do free ones as well. I also wrote a blog post on my business's website about the 5 like top mindfulness apps, and all of them are free, so if you can't pay, maybe try all of them until you get a little bit of a hang of meditation, or try some free YouTube videos, especially in the moment when you're really feeling, you know, like you're dying or very, very anxious and don't know how to control the situation. I would say go and check out these apps. So that was my number 1 tip. Number 2. Okay, so for number 2, I would say this is another major thing and tip that people would give me online, and that is to eat better. And okay, I also understand that it's hard. I mean, to be honest, like you can't see in this frame, but I'm not I'm by no means the skinniest girl you'll ever meet in your life. You know, if you go by BMI, I'm slightly overweight, which is fine. Like, I don't care. I'm trying to be a little bit healthier right now, but I have definitely seen and felt in my body that I get way more anxious if I'm not hydrated enough, like if I'm dehydrated, or if I'm eating really, really badly, like eating junk food all the time, eating, you know, sweets, chocolates, crisps, like chips, whatever. Just not giving your body proper nutrition, I think, and especially the hydration thing as well, I believe honestly that it makes you more depressed, it makes you more, you know, anxious, it just makes you feel like crap about yourself and everything like that. So I really would say that if you're trying to beat anxiety and you're having panic attacks and things like that, definitely look into just improving your nutrition a little bit. Like the next day, maybe eating a little better, you know, things like that. I really think that it helps a lot. And especially, you know, when you are struggling with those panic attacks and you don't know what to do and you're like, honestly, I don't feel like I have months and months and months to deal with it. Just nourishing your body and making sure you're hydrated. Hydration definitely is key. I think those things really, really help more than people actually realize. And I definitely think you guys should try it. Like, just try it before you knock it. Maybe you don't think that that's the truth for you. And, you know, what people think is healthy is totally different. So just try and give your body some nutrients and not like empty calories, basically. Which, I love empty calories, and sometimes pizza is good for the soul, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, like, you know, try. My third tip is really, I don't know how to put it, like a lifestyle change. Not in the fact that, like, going back to health and stuff. I mean, it's good to exercise and things like that, and I know a lot of people do say exercising helps for anxiety. I mean, to be honest, I can't give you that tip. Even though when I exercise, I feel really great. I would be lying if I said that I'm like the person who exercises 4 to 5 times a week to help my anxiety. Like, I am lazy. So I don't always, like, you know, go to the gym and things like that. But I do know that helps. But anyway, when I say lifestyle change, what I mean is it was really hard for me to come to the realization, and and I spoke about this on my Instagram. If you want to go check it out, I'll also link it down below, just so you can see, like, the posts I wrote about my anxiety and my experience with it. It was really hard for me to realize, you know, that even though I've created this life for myself with a really good job that paid really well, living in a city, Hong Kong, that I loved, and I had great friends, and, you know, I love my husband. He's so good to me. Him and I have an amazing relationship. There was still, like, this feeling inside of me that there was something missing. There was something missing. I just didn't feel fulfilled. I'd go out on the weekends, I get really drunk, you know, with my friends. I go to work Monday to Friday, like Monday wishing it was Friday, and I just was coasting through life, kind of like waiting for my next holiday, waiting for the next vacation, waiting for the next paycheck. And I think that really caught up with me, and I had to realize that even though, because honestly, the pressure of society and family and people around you just to do what is the norm is so heavy these days. I feel like, okay, people are encouraged, like, if you have a good job, don't take a risk by doing something that'll pay you less. You should rather just stick to that job, and on the side, maybe try and pursue something else. Like, that's the smart way to do it. And I know that some people aren't in a position where they can take risks, but for me personally, it made such a big change to the personal way I was feeling to kind of quit my job. And honestly, that is the way that I quit my job, was very unprofessional and something that I will regret for the rest of my life. But on the day that I quit, I literally got a panic attack. And changing my lifestyle was me basically trying to start my own business, because that was always my dream. I wanted to have my own business. Anyway, I did start my own business. I initially wanted to do Amazon FBA. Basically, that went totally wrong. Honestly, I think it is really crazy, all the information on the internet about Amazon FBA, and I'd love to make a video about it someday, but I really don't want to get sued by Amazon or, you know, but basically the Amazon FBA thing didn't work out for me at all. But I did start my own Shopify store, and I do sell letterboards, so if you'd like to support me, you can go and buy one of my letterboards below. It would mean the world to me if you could do that. And yeah, so I took a risk. I started this new company, and honestly, I have never been happier. I work so hard at it, way harder than I ever worked at my job as a teacher, but I make not even a fraction of the money yet. And that's the thing. I'm lucky that I'm in the position where I can take this risk and I can try and start this business. But, you know, I would say just take the risks. Like, sometimes you think you can't do things, but don't listen to other people. I mean, be sensible about it. I'm not saying, like, quit your job if you can't even put food on the table for your family. But, yeah, just change your lifestyle and do things that make you happy, rather than constantly feeling this pressure of what society expects of you, is basically what I'm getting at. Alright, And another little tip that I definitely learned is I had to drink less alcohol. Listen, I love going out, I love partying, I love hanging out with my friends. I mean, I love socializing. I'm a social person, and me and my husband, we love doing things together as well, like going to new bars or restaurants or things like that. But I would say that my anxiety I feel on a hangover is literally the worst. No matter how good a place I'm in my life, if I have a really bad hangover, my anxiety is like sky high and I can't deal. So I just got married on the 13th of April, but other than that holiday period, I really try to kind of make myself not go too crazy with the drinking, and get like so totally drunk that the next day is completely written off and I feel so anxious, because that really can make me feel very panicky. Tip number 5. I was struggling to think of a fifth one, because those are the main things that I did to help my anxiety. But tip number 5 is to make sure you surround yourself with people that are supportive of you. And, you know, it's hard with friendships sometimes to realize when people are dragging you down, or when, you just don't think about the interactions you have with your friends. And it's scary, because when I was feeling that anxiety, like 2 of the people that I was closest to were suffering of anxiety themselves really badly. And even though they meant a lot to me in my life journey and things like that, I had to let go of those friendships as well, because sometimes, when people say a problem shared is a problem halved, I'm not sure that that's always true with people who are going through the same thing. When I hung out more with people who didn't suffer or wallow so much in their anxiety and the things that they were going through, it was much easier for me to kind of look past it. Not look past it, because it's hard. It's not like you can just look past your anxiety when you're feeling anxiety. That's not what I mean. Just to see another way of living, to kind of like set yourself free from always talking about or feeling these intense feelings, and kind of seeing, a lighter side of life, and like that life can be enjoyable. Alright, and then the final thing I'd like to say is, for anyone who does suffer with anxiety, you know that it goes up and down in cycles. And these are some of the things that really help me with my anxiety. But that doesn't mean that I don't have any sort of form of anxiety anymore at all. That is the furthest thing from the truth. But what I will say is that every time that I do feel my anxiety getting worse, I kind of apply those things again to my life. And another thing that helped, bonus tip, is journaling, which also I always thought journaling, that's not for me. I'm not a teenage girl. I don't want to write in a journal all the time, and who fudge has time for journaling? But it really did help me as well, because sometimes when you think about your emotions, it kind of gets whirled up in your brain and you can't think clearly. And when you kind of put it out on paper and kind of read through what you're thinking, it's an outlet for your emotions. And I think that really, really helps sometimes as well. But yeah, saying again, ebbs and flows of emotion. So even though this is where I'm at right now, I know that I might not always feel that great, or, it might come back, but I know that all these things kind of do help me. But anyway, guys, I hope that some of these tips help some of you, and I just want to say that I am definitely going to be on YouTube way more, so expect me back next week. And yeah, if you guys have any comments about how you deal with your anxiety, please comment it down below so we can help each other in this community. And also, I would like to say thank you for everyone who subscribed to my channel. I have 3,000 subscribers now. That like totally blows my mind. I love all of you guys, and I can't wait to see you again next week. Bye guys!